Today Matters Part 2. Your attitude decides the direction of your tomorrow. Imagine two people starting the same morning, in the same city, with the same traffic, the same pressure, and the same problem. Both have difficult work in front of them, both have very little time, and the people around them are not very supportive either. But by the time the day ends, one person breaks down, finds fault in everything, treats every situation as bad luck, and goes to sleep at night thinking that his life will never change. On the other hand, the second person learns something from the same day, takes one small decision better, corrects one mistake, and keeps this belief alive within himself that the path is difficult, but it is not closed. The fear begins here, because if your attitude becomes negative, then even opportunities standing right in front of you will not be visible to you. And curiosity is born here. Does success come only from talent, money, and luck, or is it your thinking, your perspective, and your daily attitude that decide the real direction of your life? In the first part, we understood that life does not change because of one big day. Life changes through the small decisions of today. John C. Maxwell's book Today Matters, 12 Daily Practices to Guarantee Tomorrow's Success is based on the same idea that your tomorrow is built by your habits and disciplines of today. In this book, Maxwell talks about daily practices, which include important areas like attitude, priorities, health, family, thinking, commitment, finances, faith, relationships, generosity, values, and growth. His central message is that people often regret the past, dream about the future, but take today lightly, while real control is hidden in today itself. The most important lesson of the first part was that if your today is scattered, your tomorrow will also be confused. If your today is disciplined, your future will slowly start becoming stronger. But now the question is, where does the beginning of making today better start from? Does it start with time management? Does it start with money? Does it start with career planning? According to Maxwell, it starts with attitude, because attitude is that invisible lens through which you see the entire world. Attitude is not a small thing. It is not just a mood, whether you are feeling good today or bad today. Attitude is the internal setting that decides whether you will get scared after seeing a problem or learn from it, whether you will break after hearing criticism or improve, whether you will give up after delay or keep patience. Many times, the problem in a person's life is not as big as his negative attitude makes it. Even a small obstacle feels like a wall to him, even a small mistake feels like failure, and even a small rejection makes him question his entire ability. Positive attitude does not mean that a person closes his eyes to reality. It does not mean that there is no pain, no problem, no competition, no struggle. Positive attitude means that after seeing a problem, a person does not say that everything is over, but asks, what can I do now? This difference changes life. A negative person says, why does this happen only to me? A positive person says, what next? A negative person finds reasons why he cannot do it. A positive person finds a way to see how he can do it. Maxwell says that negative people can also achieve success, but that success does not give them the kind of happiness it should. Because a negative person's attention is not on the journey, but only on the outcome. Even after getting the result, he catches some shortcoming. If money comes, he will say there is no peace. If position comes, he will say there is no respect. If respect comes, he will say people are not genuine. Negative attitude makes even success feel incomplete, because it does not allow a person to feel gratitude. On the other hand, when a positive person reaches his goal, he does not just celebrate the result, he also sees his growth. He remembers how many times he handled himself, how many times he got up after falling, how many times he took a step forward despite fear. That is why a person with a positive attitude finds meaning even in the journey. And thus meaning prepares him for the next opportunities. For him, success is not an end point, but the beginning of the next possibility. Your attitude also affects the outcome of your work. When you do any work with irritation, fear, or complaint, your focus breaks. Creativity reduces. Energy drains quickly. The mind repeatedly goes toward the problem, not the solution. But when you do the same work with an attitude of responsibility and possibility, your mind stays open. You listen to others better. You learn quickly from mistakes. You stay present even under pressure. That is why two people may have the same skill, but because their attitude is different, their performance becomes different. The effect of attitude is even more clearly visible in the workplace. If an employee complains about everything, sees every task as a burden, treats every feedback as an insult, then slowly people start keeping distance from him. Even if he is talented, his presence starts feeling heavy. On the other hand, another employee may not be very loud, but if he is reliable, willing to learn, calm, and solution-oriented, then people like working with him. Because people do not connect only with your skill, they also connect with your energy. The same happens in relationships too. If your attitude is always suspicious, critical, and negative, then every conversation can become an argument. Every advice can feel like an attack. Every silence can feel like an insult. But if your attitude is open, you try to understand the intention behind people's words. You do not turn every mistake into a character issue. You do not treat every disagreement as the end of the relationship. Positive attitude makes relationships soft, and negative attitude creates an invisible distance in relationships. Now the biggest question is, if someone's attitude is bad, can it change? Maxwell's answer is yes, but it requires conscious effort. Attitude does not change automatically. Just as the body has to be trained, the mind also has to be trained. If you have been thinking negatively for years, everything will not change by reading one motivational quote. But by taking small steps daily, attitude can slowly be reprogrammed. First, you have to recognize your negative thoughts. Many times, we are thinking negatively, but we do not even realize it. For example, I will never be able to do it, I have no chance, people are always against me, my luck is bad, my age has passed, I do not have resources. These thoughts feel normal, but slowly they shape your behavior. If you repeatedly think that you cannot do it, your action will also become weak. And when action becomes weak, the result will also be weak. Then that same result will make your negative belief even stronger. The second step is to challenge your negative thoughts with facts. Every thought is not true. Many times, our mind creates a story because of fear. Suppose you started something once and the result was not good. Your mind may say, you always fail. But look at the facts, have you really always failed? Have you never completed any work? Have you never learned anything? Has anyone in the world become perfect on the first attempt? When you look at facts, the exaggeration of the mind starts becoming weaker. The third step is gratitude. This word sounds simple, but its effect is deep. Gratitude does not mean that you ignore your problems. It means that you also notice the good things present in your life. If you see only lack every day, your mind will become an expert in lack. But if you spend a little time every day seeing what you have, which people are with you, what you learned today, what you are thankful for, then slowly your focus will shift. And as soon as focus shifts, attitude also starts changing. The fourth step is to check your environment. Positivity does not come only from inside. The outside environment also influences it. If you are always among negative people, negative content, complaint-filled conversations, and comparison-filled social media feeds, then your mind will also start moving in the same direction. That is why you have to create space in your life for positive hobbies, good people, meaningful conversations, and learning-based content. Every day, something or the other is entering your mind. The question is whether it is making you stronger or weaker. The fifth step is to monitor your behavior on a regular basis. Many people talk about changing their attitude, but they do not observe themselves. At the end of the day, ask yourself, in which situation did I overreact today? Where did I complain unnecessarily? Where could I have looked for a solution? For what should I have been thankful, but I ignored it? This daily review may be small, but it is powerful. Because the behavior that is observed is the behavior that can be improved. Now Freud's example is interesting to understand this point. Sigmund Freud is considered the founder of psychoanalysis. He was an Austrian neurologist, and through ideas related to the unconscious mind, childhood experiences, and human behavior, he deeply influenced the world of psychology. There was a lot of debate around his theories, and there was criticism too, but it is true that his name is very big in the history of modern psychology and psychotherapy. Freud also faced a serious disease like cancer in the last years of his life. But Freud's story is not just a story of intellectual success. It also shows that even after having a great mind and a great name, a person can be troubled from within. Freud's ideas gave the world a new way of thinking, but his life also had health problems, criticism, professional resistance, and personal struggles. His work was not immediately accepted everywhere. Many people disagreed with his theories, and even today, the world of psychology takes a balanced view of Freud. His influence was huge, but many of his ideas were also questioned. The lesson here is not that Freud was not successful. He was very influential. The lesson is that influence and inner fulfillment are not always the same thing. A person can influence the world, but if his attitude is constantly filled with pain, distrust, and pessimism, he is not able to enjoy his achievements. This is what Maxwell wants to explain, that you can be successful and negative at the same time, but such success has less warmth, less happiness, and less gratitude. In real life too, we see many such people. Someone is financially successful, but always worried. Someone is ahead in career, but always insecure about others. Someone is respected in the family, but always angry. Someone is talented, but always sees himself as a victim. Such people look strong from the outside, but remain exhausted from inside. Because negative attitude slowly eats away a person's energy. Now the opposite is also true. A person may not be very successful yet, but if his attitude is positive, then possibility remains with him. He can learn, change, connect, and improve. Positive attitude does not give a person blind optimism, it gives movement. It says, yes, there is a problem, but I can take a small step. That small step can later become a big path. For a student, attitude is a very big weapon. The exam may be difficult, the competition may be tough, and there may be family pressure too. But if the student's attitude is, I can improve a little every day, then he starts coming out of fear. On the other hand, if he keeps thinking all the time that the paper is tough, I do not have time, everyone is ahead of me, then his energy will go more into anxiety than studies. In studies, not just intelligence, attitude also creates marks. For an employee, attitude is the invisible currency of career growth. The boss does not always see your inner thinking, but he sees your behavior. How do you react to a difficult task? Do you become defensive after hearing feedback, or do you learn? Do you increase problems in the team, or do you bring calmness? Your attitude slowly builds your professional reputation. Many times, promotion is given to trust before skill, and trust is built through a positive, responsible attitude. For an entrepreneur, attitude is a survival tool. In business, something or the other will go wrong every day. The customer will delay, payment will get stuck, the team will make a mistake, the market will change, the product will fail, and many times people will even laugh at your idea. If the attitude is weak, the entrepreneur will take every setback as a personal insult. But if the attitude is strong, he will treat every setback as data. He will ask, what do I have to learn from this? This attitude saves the business from breaking. Now the important thing is that positive attitude does not mean a fake smile. It is not a show that everything is good. It also does not mean that you do not feel sadness, anger, fear, or tiredness. If you are human, emotions will come. But positive attitude decides what you do after the emotion comes. Do you freeze in fear or prepare? Do you spoil a relationship in anger or talk calmly? Do you leave everything in tiredness or rest and return? This is the difference. Today's attitude creates tomorrow's possibilities, because attitude influences action, action creates habits, habits create results, and results create the future. If attitude is negative, action will be weak. If action is weak, habit will be weak. If habit is weak, future will be weak. But if attitude is positive and responsible, your today will slowly start becoming productive. And when today becomes productive, tomorrow automatically starts becoming stronger. That is why from today, do not take your attitude lightly. As soon as you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, with what perspective am I starting my day today? Am I in complaint mode or solution mode? Will I see only shortcomings in people, or will I also see possibility? Will I treat my work as a burden or as an opportunity for growth? Will I make my problem an excuse or a training ground? These questions are simple, but they can change the direction of your entire day. If you really want to change your tomorrow, learn to choose your attitude today. Because circumstances will not always be in your control, but your response is largely in your hands. What people will say, what the market will do, what the boss will say, how the traffic will be, everything is not in your control. But you can decide whether you will break or learn, complain or improve, fear or prepare. In the first part, we learned that today matters, because today is the foundation of the future. In the second part, the lesson is that today's attitude gives me possibilities. When the attitude is right, the same problem becomes a lesson, the same delay teaches patience, the same criticism becomes a chance for improvement, and the same ordinary day can become the turning point of your life. But this journey does not stop here. Attitude opens possibilities, but to turn possibilities into results, you also have to decide what the most important work is. Because even if you have a positive attitude, if your priorities are wrong, your energy will be spent in the wrong direction. In the next part, we will talk about the daily practice which teaches you to put your hard work in the right place, priorities. And from there, we will understand why many people work very hard, yet still do not move ahead.
If this video has taught you something new, or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible. But in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.